Hello there, and thanks for staying with us here on the JoyNews channel. This is UPFront with me, Blessed Sogah. The New Patriotic Party is not backing down on their demands for sanctions against Chief Executive Officer of Ghana's Gold Board and National Communications Officer for the NDC, Sammy Gyamfi. Mr. Gyamfi has dominated, leading the headline as well, and also stirring the national debate after a video footage of him went viral on social media showing him doing what many say is doling out cash, a debatable amount as of now, in foreign currency believed to be United States dollars, to controversial evangelist Patricia Asiama, widely known as Nana Agrada. Although President John Dramani Mahama stated his view in the last few hours, indicating through his spokesperson that he does not believe that any further actions ought to be taken beyond the apology of Sammy Gyamfi and the caution subsequently against him. The New Patriotic Party insists that heads indeed must roll. Already, some key figures of the party have petitioned SRAJ, CID, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, over Sammy Gyamfi's dollar gift saga, if you want to describe it as such. Some of the leading members leading that charge include Mumuni Mohammed Nuruddin, who is the Member of Parliament for Nalerigu Gambaga area. He's also being joined in this petition by leadership of the minority in Parliament, the Minority Whip Habib Idrisu, as you can see there in your shot, going through the process together with one man, Haruna Mohammed, who believes as well that heads must roll. He's the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party and is joining us in studio. It's good to see you. Still sifting and sorting the petition that you've presented today, I believe.
Well, yes, I think that you are putting sunshine on it, and we are there to explain.
We'll be going into that shortly, but also joining in the conversation via Zoom is Edem Agbana, who's a Member of Parliament for Ketu North constituency. And Edem, it's good to have you join us on the show. Very shortly, I'll put up your defense for Sammy Gyamfi, which you put up on your Facebook page a couple of days back. But let's start off by understanding what this fresh demand of the New Patriotic Party is. And Haruna, I want to start off with you from there. Because earlier today, what you have done is to clearly petition. Anyone at all can petition, actually. But what's new in this petition?
Thank you very much, Blessed. First and foremost, I would say good evening to your cherished viewers, yourself. Earlier on, we have not petitioned. We only raised a press conference. The minority raised a press conference through Dr. Kabiru, and the party also raised a press conference at the party headquarters, which was spearheaded and read by the national organizer for the New Patriotic Party, lawyer Henry Nanabuachi. It was a private person who petitioned, and our debate and discussions on that matter was solely on the position of minority and the MPP. It is today that a Member of Parliament for the good people of Nalerigu Gambaga constituency, Honorable Alhaji Mohammed Mumuni Nuruddin, who has petitioned the SRAJ, also petitioned the CID, and petitioned the Office of the Special Prosecutor. His petition is raising concerns over certain matters that he thinks that we should look at it, and these state institutions must look at it. One is the source of the foreign currency that was distributed by our good brother, Mr. Sammy Gyamfi. Again, whether the said currency that was being shared formed part of a public or institutional funds entrusted to Mr. Sammy Gyamfi. Again, whether there is a potential conflict of interest and abuse of office in this particular regard, and whether the violation of the Code of Conduct for the Public Officers recently launched by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana
have been breached.
And also whether there is breaches with regards to the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, and also the Currency Act of 1964.
Okay, this is what I want to do to help our viewers as well, because what you're raising now has been raised before by your party when you first held your press briefing. We've been tracking, a series of events, putting that together, and let's just go through it briefly by giving you a sense of when all of these started, the concerns that emerged at the beginning, and the latest ones that Haruna is raising right now. So let's get to the details for you on the screens as to when all of this started. There you have it. So we know that Sammy Gyamfi obviously gifted an undisclosed amount in terms of dollars, to Patricia Asedwa, popularly known as Nana Agrada, who has become another subject of controversy. Then the issues in terms of laws and policies allegedly he's breached include the issues about the Foreign Exchange Act, the Anti-Money Laundering Act, the Presidential Code of Conduct, which was recently launched. And now the president is giving us a sense of what he intends to do. So the president, according to the spokesperson of the president and Minister for Communications, the presidency simply does not believe that any further action ought to be taken against Sammy Gyamfi beyond the caution, and also he's rendered a public apology. But look at the number of institutions that the NPP has now petitioned in terms of their leadership in Parliament. The Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, there was an earlier petition there withdrawn by an individual, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the Criminal Investigations Department, and these are but some of the institutions that have been petitioned. So now we're situating that clearly into what you were saying, Haruna Mohammed. But let's start off with the first one on the screen, Shraj. That's where the earlier petition went to. But the individual says, well, having looked at the concerns, I'm withdrawing that. So why are you going back to Shraj on the matter?
We are not in line with the individual. The individual who went to Shraj went on his own right per the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. He again went back to withdraw same based on his right in the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. I have not even read the petition that was sent by the individual. So it is in the exercise of his right that the individual has so decided to withdraw. And it was the same energy that he went to petition.
Would you be surprised if I told you that this is a member of the New Patriotic Party, or perhaps someone who sympathizes with your party?
It's not which person?
The petitioner, actually.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The petitioner went on his own right. That is why it is described as a private citizen. The party has not sponsored anybody.
Okay, but you know him?
Yes. I don't know him. Oh. I don't even know his name. I've not.
But you wouldn't be surprised if he's a member of the NPP?
I don't know. I don't know whether he can also be a member of the NDC.
Oh, really?
He can be a member of the CPP. He can be a member of the PNC. Until it is made a political discussion or it is being sponsored by a political party. As I am here, the member of parliament for the good people of Nalerugu Gambaga is a member of the New Patriotic Party. And he is coming on the back of the minority in parliament. So I can sit here and own him as well as the petition.
But you can disown the individual.
I don't, because I don't know.
Okay.
Because I don't know the individual.
Let's get into it. Are you not asking too many questions in this very document that you've presented to CID, Yoko, or Shraj and the other institutions?
We want our good brother to be discharged appropriately. At least he should be clean, and if he's culpable of any of the offenses, then the law takes his.
If you're making allegations, you need to prove them.
That is why we have.
Which law specifically has Sammy Gyamfi breached?
We cannot tell which law he breached.
Oh, he hasn't.
We are making references to laws that we think that is being breached. One of the laws is the Foreign Exchange Act of 2006. The other is the Anti-Money Laundering law that Sammy Gyamfi himself, has quoted copiously when it happened on the issue of Madame Cecilia Dapa.
Yeah, I'm asking that till date, the NPP prides itself as a party that has lawyers, legal luminaries. Well, it's a fact too that you do have good lawyers within the party.
It's a good fact.
Yeah, so tell us which law Sammy Gyamfi has.
Yeah, but at this stage, I am not an investigative body. I have the right to petition. I have the right to raise a press conference. I have the right to point to. I have the right to report.
Haruna, this is pure politics you're engaging in.
It's not pure politics.
Did you not hear the president when the president says, I've cautioned Sammy Gyamfi? Is that not enough?
Blessed, I don't think that caution is enough on this particular matter. You know very well that when Madame Cecilia reported of a theft of her own money, these gentlemen and other people, including His Excellency, the President now in opposition, they make public commentary on that matter. People call for investigation. And I think that you can remember, there was no petition to the special prosecutor, but the special prosecutor went ahead to raid the house of Madame Cecilia Dapaah, went ahead to do investigations on her, and you know the outcome of that particular investigation, that Madame Cecilia Dapaah's work in terms of the money or the quantum of money she had in the house has nothing to do with any
why is Sammy Gyamfi's case?
Bridges.
Give us a good reason why we should feel Sammy Gyamfi's case is synonymous to that of Cecilia Dapaah.
It's not the same, but I'm giving you an example, a scenario in which Sammy Gyamfi...
different cases, isn't it?
No, it's not the same.
Yeah, they're not the same.
Yeah,
so
they are not the same.
Them?
But they have one similarity, which is a foreign currency.
Really?
Yes, and when Sammy Gyamfi... let me quote. Let me quote him. Let me quote him. He said, once money is found in your custody and you cannot account for the money, and that money is disproportionate to your income.
Have you seen Sammy Gyamfi's? Have you seen Sammy Gyamfi's?
You shall be deemed to commit the offense of money laundering.
Have you seen Sammy Gyamfi's conditions of service?
It is not for me to see his conditions of service.
Do you know that he's ever worked before in the extractive sector?
My brother, I have worked for over 20 years. I've never shared such dollars.
Haruna, you have, I mean, considerably.
You
can afford $800. $800 will be told now
I have worked
by
the
individual who
years,
received
close to 20 years rather, not over,
yeah.
Close to 20 years. I have not shared such dollars
You
before.
can. You've just not decided to do that.
I am telling you that the code of conduct that is being established by His Excellency the President ought to have been obeyed by Mr. Sammy Gyamfi by making sure that he does not put the president in a difficult manner.
I see.
Because the president himself has said that the difficult decisions that you would take against your own people when they commit crime, it is what defines you of your influence or right to fight corruption. And this, he said it in the perspective.
Let me ask you a question.
Leadership.
If Sammy Gyamfi were to give out $800, I mean, and I'm basing that based on the recipient, because the recipient is out telling us how much she received. We're basing that on her claims.
But if you look at the counting machine that was counting the money, it was counted more than 8.
They used the counting machine.
But because Mr. Sammy Gyamfi was counting the money.
Let me just get them.
Yes.
If you received $800 from Sammy Gyamfi, would you take it or not?
Myself?
Yeah.
Receive $800 from Sammy Gyamfi for what work done?
I see.
Because one, he has never been my friend.
Okay.
We have not even met just for conversation, except...
So it wouldn't happen?
It can't.
If Sammy Gyamfi were to donate $800 to a charity organization or to someone who's in dire need of it, would you have issues with that?
There are laws that governs how donations are made. And that is why we are igniting certain laws of Ghana, where we think that these laws must be looked at and then match to the conduct of Mr. Sammy Gyamfi. Have you done
the conversion yourself, the conversion rate yourself? $800 should not be beyond 20,000.
I don't need to do conversion. People have been punished.
Your candidate, your leading members, even the MP who's gone to Shraj, has done donations in his constituency.
I am telling you that.
I mean, way more than 20,000 cedis.
You don't need to even weigh it. Sammy Gyamfi is a public officer.
Right.
He's been put in charge of a very big organization that is supposed to make sure we protect the depreciation of our dollar, of our CD, vis-a-vis the performance of the dollar in the market. And that is why, in the wisdom of the MPP, we brought what we call the gold for oil transaction business, and we set up that gold for oil.
I see, but as it stands,
and then as at now, it is the gold board. So the gold board, which we as a country decides that we don't need to transact in dollars directly. We need to transact in the use of gold. Such a person who is put in charge of managing these reserves is defying the rule of dealing even in gold, and flashing foreign currency.
If you walked into a shop today, you're not buying with gold, are you?
That is Ghana.
Yeah.
I am not a state.
Yeah,
it is the state.
Yeah, so
it is the state.
Yeah, Sammy Gyamfi is an individual having individual rights.
But he's managing that particular aspect. He's managing that gold.
So it's about much more about the trust for you and suspicion that you have as a party.
The point is that he's been put. Our resources have been put in trust. So once it is put in trust of the president, and the president has given him that particular mandate, and we all know in economy, speculation is key. That affects the performance of the currency of a country. So if such a person who is put behind a certain organization to run that is seen to be displaying publicly foreign currency, that to the public in that manner can also affect the performance of our city, which we think that speculation must be put out.
Let me bring in
instance.
Edem at this point. And Edem Agbana, I don't know if we have your post ready on Facebook and what you said a couple of days ago. Let's get to it then, because I want to start off from there. You indicated that, quote, and I'm just reading that clearly from the screens, and Haruna, you could follow with me reading that. He says, for those texting me and insulting me for standing up for my brother Sammy Gyamfi, I want to be clear. I do not wish to go into the details, especially since Sammy himself has apologized for the indiscretion and the Chief of Staff has taken up the matter. However, if I had the opportunity to speak on it, I would always vouch for Sammy Gyamfi's integrity. I'm not one of those who swing between hot and cold. I am a friend who puts my hand in the fire for Sammy, not only because he's my friend, but because I have also known him and witnessed his rise in this tough political environment. So if you're typing, I'm disappointed in you, Edem, you're simply wasting your time. Too many of you. The problem isn't that Sammy Gyamfi gave out the money, but rather he received it. But rather who received it, you're saying there. Fair enough. But whatever my views are, maybe on the beneficiaries of, the benevolence, I will share those with him in private. I know someone who once harshly criticized him and insulted him, who insulted Sammy, but later on received support from him during his health crisis. And then you go on to talk about how you believe in him and saying that to comrades who choose to go after him, internal democracy permits you to do so. But just as you have the right to criticize him, those of us who can vouch for his character equally have the right to stand by him. So it appears that even in your own political party, some people are not happy with what Sammy Gyamfi has done, clearly.
Yes, listeners across the world, and good evening to my brother Haruna from the NPP. Yes, indeed, a number of people within the NDC were not happy with what happened, the video they saw. And like I indicated in the video, not because they believe Sammy has done anything wrong, not because they believe Sammy committed any crime or any illegality, but because of the person who received or who was at the receiving end of his benevolence. Many of such people, many of the NDC folks who criticized Sammy even brought out videos indicating that the evangelist Mama Pat, or Agrada, as we call him, who used to be a critic of President Mahama and on a number of occasions insulted President Mahama, and they did not believe that it was right for Sammy Gyamfi to give her any gift. So regardless of the amount involved or what have you, their problem was with the person who received it. But this evening, the focus of the conversation is not on the person who received it. Listening to the NPP, the depraved MPP, and their Deputy General Secretary, Haruna, make comments or speaking to the petition that they wrote, I found it very ridiculous. The entire thing sounds like a joke, complete joke to me. And I will tell you why. I have attended a number of comedy shows, but there is nothing funnier. There is no comedy show I have attended in the last 10, 15 years that created more fun, funnier than what we are witnessing today. I will tell you why.
And many will object to that when you say this is comedy. The point is, if there's no case of seriousness in the issues, Do you think that the chief of staff, for instance, would have invited Sammy Gyamfi in the first place?
I am speaking to the MPP's petition,
right,
and the explanations Haruna gave as comedy, in the sense that let's start with the issues that he raised. The first one, he said, in the petition, they are seeking to investigate the source of Sammy's wealth. No problem. Any Ghanaian can petition that a public official's wealth should be investigated, or source of funds should be investigated. I do not have any challenge with anyone asking that as a public official, his source of wealth be investigated.
Yeah, Adam will be back shortly, but of course, we're just putting up that post.
Yeah. So that
Adam, we lost you briefly. If you could just take that point for us again briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am saying that I do not have any problem, any challenge with any individual, any Ghanaian asking that Sammy Gyamfi be investigated to know, ascertain his source of wealth. Like I said, as a public official, these are some of the things that you can be subjected to. That is why the framers of the Constitution, in their own justified reasoning, agreed that when you are given an appointment to a public office, so through investigations, reference can be made to the assets declared before you took over the position. So there's no challenge with that. But when you ask that you want whether or not the currency forms part of gold board money, it is ridiculous. Are you saying that because you're a public official, any money that you hold or that you are in possession of necessarily is a state money?
Is gold board not trading in gold?
No, but was Sammy Gyamfi giving Agrada gold? Why? The video we saw, was Sammy Gyamfi giving Agrada gold? I have never seen gold in my life. But are you saying that I have never heard dollar currency before? I have never seen dollars? Why? The many schools and institutions that are charging in dollars and Ghanaian students are paying, are those people working at gold board? Or are they minors necessarily? So it is a ridiculous argument to begin with. Such a joke. Number two, you ask that you want to investigate conflict of interest. Why? Is Agrada a gold trader? Is Sammy Gyamfi and Agrada, if you talk about Agrada, Evangelist Agrada, is her church in any way connected to gold board? So why is the conflict of interest coming in? Why? Has the definition of conflict of interest changed? Look, opposition and politics is supposed to be serious business. And the jokes are becoming one too many. Haruna asking that they want to investigate conflict of interest. Does he understand conflict of interest?
Okay, here's the point, Adam.
Conflict of interest is great. Conflict of interest. It would have been conflict of interest if, for example, Sammy had given money or received money from anyone whose line of business had anything affiliated with his office gold board. So somebody in his private capacity, money was not even given in the office, went for a funeral, and we could see in the video that the lady kept pressuring him that tofu or mommy, buy food for me. And the person decides to give a gift. How does even the question of conflict of interest arise?
Your new code of, the new code of conduct launched by the president. We'll get to that. But even aside that, let's even settle this. You seem to be trivializing, the demand of the end. But this is the point. What's wrong anyway? And just hold on, Adam. Let me land on the question. What's wrong anyway if you have investigations carried out into the activities of Sammy Gyamfi? After all, if he comes out clean...
I'm not sure you paid attention to me. I said that their point one, that Sammy's source of wealth be investigated, I have no problem with it. But when you raise a point, now you want to find out that whether you are claiming that there was conflict of interest, it makes your entire petition a trivial and a petty joke, because nobody will take you serious, because we all understand the fundamental definition of conflict of interest. What is Agrada's business with gold board, such that at a funeral ground, money given to her as a gift will now constitute conflict of interest? Why? Let's stop the jokes. Let's move to the issue of the code of conduct. Look, you ask that they say Foreign Exchange Act was breached. I have perused meticulously the Foreign Exchange Act. You, as Deputy General Secretary of the opposition MPP, you sit on TV, live TV, you are telling us that you cannot make reference to the particular act that was breached. I have gone through the entire act. It should show us what in the Foreign Exchange Act prevents Sammy Gyamfi at a private event from giving money to anybody.
Okay, tell us, Haruna, are you able to tell us quickly?
Tell us.
Are you able to tell us? Just hold on, Adam, just hold on briefly. Let him, yeah. No, let's clear that up. Adam, let's clear that up. Do you have the law? Do you have the law? The specific.
I have just read the Anti-Money Laundering Act, Section 1.
I mean, let's do the Forex first.
I'm going to. I chose the problem.
He's asking about the Forex.
No,
he's asking about the Forex.
He can't set examples. He's too full of
No, he's not. He's not setting. He's asking the question about Forex.
He cannot set question for me. I am telling you based on my debate.
I am telling you that answer the Foreign Exchange one.
My brother, you cannot. You are not the host on this program.
Okay, so I'm the host. Let me ask the question.
You are not the host on this program.
Gentlemen, let's cool down. Let's cool down, gentlemen. Let's cool down, gentlemen. This is the point.
I have quoted.
Yes, the Forex. Let's deal with the Forex first.
I am going to anti-money laundering.
Why would you want to go there? Why would you want to talk about
anti-money laundering? I am going to anti-money
Is Forex
laundering.
part of the
and before
part of
I will
the
come
petition?
to the Forex.
Yeah, let's deal with the Forex first because I want to go back to the Forex. So let's deal with the
I am coming to the Forex, but I'm going to anti-money laundering.
Let's deal with the Forex.
You cannot.
Okay,
nobody can force me. I'm one person.
Okay.
I'm one person. I'm a man on my own.
I know.
And nobody can influence my thoughts.
Just as your flag bearer,
So,
Dr. Mahmoud.
Yes, I'm a man on my own. Nobody can influence my thoughts.
But this is the point. This is the point, Haruna.
Yes.
Okay.
Deputy General Secretary of Opposition Party.
Adam, please stop ranting yourself on that.
Okay, Haruna, cannot control gentlemen, hold on.
You cannot control me.
Okay, this is what I want to say.
As if you control people.
So, okay,
you are telling people that I don't understand what it is. Do you know?
Haruna, this is the point. Haruna, listen to me.
Do you know the kind of thought that I've went through?
Haruna, just listen to me. If I give you the opportunity
take your argument and argue on the issues
I'll give you the opportunity.
Stop mentioning and saying you want to educate.
Haruna, would you listen to me? Okay, this is the point.
So I am going into the anti-money laundering.
If I give you that opportunity, are you going to touch on the Forex?
Yes, I'll open the Forex Act before I will tell you.
Okay,
because
so let's
I know the Foreign Exchange Act, we have Section 3.1 and 3.4.
And it says what?
Yes, so I currently have the Anti-Money Laundering Act.
You don't have the Forex Act before?
Have
you read it?
I'm going to go to it.
Okay, right.
Yes, I've read it. I'll go to those portions. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm never distracted with whatever I do.
But do that first.
So once I have this before me, which is part of the document that I'm using, I have the liberty to start with whichever law I want to start with. And I go to the anti-money laundering, which Sammy Gyamfi himself have quoted copiously when he was talking about Madame Cecilia Dapa, Section 1
but why
of
again
that.
Is this about Cecilia Dapa?
If you go to Section 1, it says a person shall not engage in money laundering. A person commits an offense of money laundering if the person knows or ought to have known that a property is or forms part of the process of unlawful activity and the person A, conveys, conceal, disguises or transfers the property for the purpose of 1, concealing or disguising the illicit origin of the property, 2, assisting any person who is involved in the commission of unlawful activity, and
as a political party,
evade the legal consequences of the unlawful activity. B, conceals or disuse the true nature, source, location, disposition, movement or ownership or the right to the property. It goes on and on. We are asking the
Sammy Gyamfi in a post. Sammy Gyamfi in a post admitted that this is my cash. I was doing charity.
We are not.
Which part of the law does he violate when you say?
That's why we are asking the body.
No, you're asking. You just said that if you conceal, the law says if you conceal. He's not concealed it. He says he's owning up.
Why do they fear the investigative body to get it?
Now let's deal with the Forex. Let's deal with the Forex.
So he can continue, and I'll open the Forex.
So you don't have the Forex now?
Yes, I'm going to open it.
Can you quote the specific part? Because that's the question he asked you.
Section 3, 1, and 4.
Okay, and it says what?
And that's what I'm going to open.
Okay, so you need time.
Yes, I need time to open the Forex.
But
I will not say it in my head.
When your leadership was submitting this petition, you want to tell me that You were not consulted as leaders of the party?
Do I have the Forex Act in my head?
Okay, I'll give you the time.
Why don't you want to give me the time to open?
Okay, so Adam, proceed with your points then.
I don't do that.
Yeah, Adam, proceed with your points. He says he will quote the relevant act for you. He chose to start with the anti-money laundering.
Let me proceed with my point. My point is that this whole petition is frivolous and it's just meant to waste our time. And it's a petition that the opposition MPP is using in disguise to grab a little attention and sound relevant. But the more they proceed with this, they are even sounding more irrelevant than ever because Ghanaians are discerning. Again, he is unable to quote even the Anti-Money Laundering Act. All the things we read. Discerning Ghanaians
he read from the act.
And discerning Ghanaians. Yes, he read from the act. And I'm saying that what he read, which of it relates to Sammy Gyamfi giving money to Agrada? Which of it shows that there was money laundering? Which of it? He couldn't even specify. And you see, when you want to write a petition, and then if it needs lecturing or tutorials on petitions, we started writing petitions as student politicians. I will teach him how to do it.
But then the leadership in Parliament. I mean, just hold on. I mean, leading MPs. No, Adam, just hold on. Adam, just hold on. Leading MPs, your colleagues in Parliament have submitted this petition. You're still saying it does not hold substance. These are MPs who've been there before you came into Parliament.
When it's for me, I will be very surprised. I mean, when I saw listen to the things that he's saying.
I'm saying to you now that the petition, the petition also has the signature of your colleague MPs. These are, in fact, leaders in Parliament, actually.
And I am telling you that the minority is led by a very well-vexed, a very venerable leader that I have so much respect for. We may have our disagreements on issues, but the Honorable Afenyo Makin is one of the people that I can tell you is very meticulous when it comes to issues of the law because he never wants to be on the losing side. I have not seen those who signed the petition, but if I cite or we make reference to the petition as Haruna is explaining, I will be very surprised to know that a lawyer of Honorable Afenyo Makin's stature saw the petition and allowed them to.
But the minority whip has jointly filed this. So I mean that's a key figure in the minority.
I am speaking about the venerable Afenyo Makin.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Again, it's about the content of the petition. Now, if you are writing a petition and you claim that you are invoking that some laws may have been breached, and you talk about Anti-Money Laundering Act, you are not able to point to any specific act or provision in that act that has been breached, it makes the petition a complete joke. And let me tell you something. Anyone in this country who believes that putting the Cecilia Dapa case and the Sammy Gyamfi issue on the same level, the person is engaging in comic. And I'll tell you why. When Sammy Gyamfi was criticizing Cecilia Dapa, there is a particular act that we make reference to. And that act says, and he read it, that when you have assets that are disproportionate to your income or to your earnings, please, $800, this same Sammy Gyamfi, when in opposition, was well and able to mobilize motorbikes for every single constituency communication officer across all 276 constituencies. Sammy Gyamfi bought vehicles, pickups, for all the 16 regional communication officers.
Yeah, but I'm not sure he was buying that with his personal money, was it? He was using his office as the communications officer for the party.
All of a sudden, you assume that if Sammy Gyamfi gives out $800 as a gift, that necessarily must come from Gold Board. Let's stop the jokes. The scandal testing MPP, because they are so surprised that for the first time in the history of this country, over 120 days, the government has not recorded any scandal because under the depraved MPP, right from the day of the swearing in. They were caught in plagiarism scandal. From then they went to the boss scandal, cash for seat scandal. They served us scandals on daily basis. So if they are hungry for scandals, this Sammy Gyamfi's gift to Agrada is not one of those scandals.
The president,
the people of Ghana serious, come back with a better petition, point out a particular provision or act that has been breached.
I see. He'll get you the act shortly. Just hold on for me. The president, when he was swearing in the first set of the ministers, was clear that no opulence in my government. This is the same president who we're now hearing through his spokesperson.
Let me ask you.
Right. Okay.
If Sammy Gyamfi entered the funeral grounds and climbed on top of his car and was spreading money on the people, how will you describe that?
Well, at least he's giving money to one, one who asked the money.
How will you describe that? If you call giving a gift to somebody in your car, which unfortunately somebody filmed or somebody took videos and the videos are out, you call that opulence. Why did Sammy Gyamfi enter the funeral grounds with dollars in his hand, showing that I have dollars and spreading it all over the place? I mean, let us define the terms properly. We don't call that opulence. And anybody who attempts to put Cecilia Adapa having over $1 million in her bedroom and compare the same with Sammy Gyamfi giving a small gift to Agrada as the same, it's simply not the same. They are not incomparable. And they are not comparable. And you see what? Let me state this. The MPP has repeatedly said Sammy Gyamfi has breached President Mohammed's code of conduct. And I tell people that sometimes argument is not necessary. I have the code here. Haruna should send me his number. If you have sent it to him, he should peruse it. And if he's able to point out the particular code that Sammy Gyamfi has breached,
he says he has that. Once more, he says. Yeah. Once more,
stop wasting our time.
Yeah. Once more, he says he has that. So let's get to that. He has that.
Yeah. So
Haruna, you have two outstanding issues to clear.
Yes.
First, the forex.
Foreign currency.
The forex.
I've told you.
And then now the code of conduct.
I've told you the provisions in which we are sticking to in the Foreign Exchange Act. I said 3.1 and 3.4, and with your permission, I read. 3.1. A person shall not engage in the business of dealing in foreign exchange without a license issued under this act. Sammy Gyamfi was seen using and sharing foreign currency without a license. 3.4. The business of dealing with foreign exchange includes putting and selling. Please be patient. You are very impatient.
Adam is laughing at you right now.
Yeah, I was equally laughing at him when he was talking because I needed to put, needed to put music to what he was saying so that it would make a lot of sense.
Oh my God.
Yes. Purchase or sale of foreign currency.
Yeah.
Receipt or payment of foreign currency.
Yeah.
Emphasis is on 4B.
Okay.
These are the portions that we are pointing to in the Foreign Exchange Act. So clearly,
I'm sure you've
clearly, we are very specific on the areas that we are dealing with. And to say that we have not mentioned portions of that, the MPP in his press conference mentioned portions of the Anti-Money Laundering Act, and also mention portions of the foreign
it's just occurring to me now. Do you know, for instance, is the technical term, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it called impressed, right? You know, when our local officials are traveling, they have just hold on, I'm just giving you an example, so you can respond to it. Yeah, I mean, is it impressed? Well, that's the name I hear. Technically,
sometimes you run Impress in your office.
Okay.
But when you are traveling, you are either
taking foreign currency. You're taking foreign currency.
It depends upon.
But that's allowed under the law. So
it depends. No, I'm even coming to respond.
So why would the state break the same law? So a state officials giving dollars
I am coming
not subjected to the same law.
I am coming to respond to even a matter. He says that.
No, Haruna, let's not go there.
No, because
you just
of the
raised an issue about the forex.
Let's deal with that.
I want us to finish that.
No, I am going to finish it.
Yeah, finish it for me.
You are asking a question that
about the
demanding for me to push on a certain matter.
Okay.
He mentioned that conflict of interest, raising it is laughable.
Okay.
And he's saying that did we see Sammy giving somebody gold? And it is that when you see him giving gold, that is where you have to, or somebody who also deals in gold. You go and ask him whether the company, the organization on which he's the CEO, whether they have a gold.
No, but that's not Haruna. Complete the forex, then we deal with the code of conduct. I don't want us to mix the issues. I get it. But Haruna, I don't want us to mix the issues. Two outstanding issues for you, and then I'll come back to them. The forex, we haven't exhausted that.
No, I've given you the
yeah, you're saying that anyone doling out foreign currency may have been, breaching the law based on the 3-1 you're reading.
Of that.
Yeah, but I'm saying that under the same law, and in fact in public service, you have something called impress. And I'm just saying it because I don't know the technical role of it. What I'm learning, my initial findings about this is that public officials sometimes receive foreign currency when they're traveling.
I cannot
here
tell.
In Ghana.
I cannot tell. Because
you don't know about this,
I am saying I cannot tell whether it is
you were in government. You just left government less than 200 days ago.
I cannot determine whether it was his impress or his per diem.
But it could be his impress.
I cannot say so because that is why we have petition organization for him to appear and answer questions.
Yeah, but I'm saying
on that matter.
But
I cannot
if we're saying, and
I don't want to.
This is the analogy. You get why I'm asking the question because of the provision you've read.
I am saying that I cannot.
If you're in possession of it,
I cannot engage in conjecture. I want an appropriate organization to determine
But if you allege, you must prove.
And that is why we have quoted provisions of the Act and asked that we should find out the source. Because this is a man who has not been paid for the period that he has worked.
And that issue about not being paid, are you saying he's not being given allowances because he's entitled to allowances as well?
I cannot say so.
Yeah, so you don't have the facts.
That is why we want to know the source. That's all.
So why not ask Sammy Gyamfi? Because he runs Gold Board. There is the Right to Information Law, which you passed under the New Patriotic Party administration.
Is it wrong to petition?
I'm saying, why not ask him?
There are two things in the Constitution.
Yes.
Your right
to information.
Your responsibility.
Yes.
So we decide to choose to go and petition.
That's an investigation.
Why the Member of Parliament have gone to petition. The MPP as a party decided to go to do a press conference, which is in our right.
Okay.
So we choose the right in which we want to do. Right. Not somebody choosing to ask
for you. Okay. Haruna, you're my very good friend. So let's clear the second one.
So the second one
code of conduct. He's asking you about the code of conduct.
The code of conduct. I want him to open to 1.2.
Okay, and
which
just
talks about
open that.
Statement of ethics. And if you permit me to read, I am not going to read the first part of it. I'm going to go to the point. And it says, hence, the minister must, and all appointee must, 1, act honestly. B, uphold the highest standard of integrity, truthfulness, and transparency in all dealings and decision-making to preserve and enhance public confidence. Public confidence and trust.
I see. Public confidence
and trust.
Let's go there.
In the integrity, objectivity,
I see,
and impartiality of the government.
Yeah. Okay, Haruna, this is the point. You want to go to the part
performs his or her duties and manage his or her personal affairs in a manner that withstands the closest public.
Okay, so Haruna, you're saying that the public confidence
confidence and trust.
Is it eroded?
Look at what is happening.
Okay.
The general public, Ghanaian people are very worried about that. Trust is very key. The reason of which you throw a child up while standing and the child will be smiling and laughing before you keep the child is because of trust.
Right.
President Mahama is saying that he should be able to hold that.
Okay.
And
if it's
so
about,
I can continue.
Yeah, I get it. But it's about public trust. If it's about, Haruna, if it's about public trust, this is the point. And maybe the team
it's not the only thing. There are
hold on. Yeah, we'll come to that. But you know, we're dealing with it.
To go to,
I don't.
Section 1.3.
This is the point. I don't want us to mix up the issue. So we're dealing with it as it comes
up. Which talks about civility, courtesy, and restraint.
I get it. Let's deal with the erosion of public confidence. And maybe the team will be helping us out. Fetch out Global Info Analytics. They've done a recent research on what the public actually thinks about this on Twitter. I think they put out the data. 60% of Ghanaians, and that's based on their data, probably will be getting that shortly, are saying that, oh, just pardon this guy. I mean, well, probably should be giving a second chance.
They've already done a survey on Sammy Gyamfi issue.
Oh, my brother. I don't know, but you've seen that.
No, I am asking you because we have not seen a published document on that. I have not seen any published document.
You don't believe that?
I have not seen it. Why do I believe something I don't see? I have not seen any published document on this particular matter.
Now, can't you have mercy on a public official who is human?
No, they can't be messy. But the point is that we want him to be very clear. He's a young man.
Okay.
Investigation should be conducted and he should be cleared properly.
Okay. If Sammy Gyamfi is found culpable, what's the demand? Are you asking him to be? Are you asking that we give him a sanction or probably he be dismissed? I'm not too sure what the demand.
Remember, you see, when Madame case happened, nobody petitioned, but they called for him to be sacked, her to be sacked from the position. Eventually, she lost the ministerial position. Investigation has been done and concluded. You know the findings. The findings is that there is no any trace of procurement breaches with regards to Madam Cecilia Dapa, and there is no any adverse findings against her.
Haruna, let's get to it.
Where we are.
Yeah, look at it. Look, this is the exact issue I was talking about. You have that on the screens now. What should happen to Sammy Gyamfi following his apology after he was captured giving US dollars as gifts to citizens a week of the president unveiling a code of conduct for his appointees? So it's quite related. This is it. 59.7% say, and I was just approximating it to 60, say he should be pardoned. That's majority, right, of those who participated. We're not saying the entire.
I didn't even see you to participate.
Oh, what would you have selected?
No, I am saying that I did not even see you to.
Removed, no opinion. You would have asked that this should be removed. Which of them will you go for?
He should be suspended or removed from his position.
For how long?
No, he should be suspended or removed from his position because it is something that.
So that's the demand of the party.
That will not put people, the public confidence and the trust in government.
So you want Sammy Gyamfi sacked? That's the point.
Or suspended if he falls foul of the law.
Adam, yeah, there you have it. Of course, the clear concern there. That it's as simple as that. Suspend him or dismiss him from office.
Punishment. Let me state categorically that Haruna, throughout this program, has not quoted any relevant provision that was breached. And I want us to be specific. For example,
in your view,
he mentioned,
in your view,
it's not in my view. Why?
Right.
If I'm to ask you, were you convinced that any of the laws that he quoted?
Let me ask the questions. Let me ask the questions. Then we can make progress.
When he says that you need license, you need a license to operate a forex, right?
Yeah.
You need license to operate. Are you telling us that if today I go to the bank to withdraw money in foreign currency, or before you carry any foreign currency on you, you must have a license to operate same? There is always a threshold. If Sammy Gyamfi was carrying $1 million, if Sammy Gyamfi was carrying $500,000 in his car, it becomes questionable. And that is why the law, the framers of the law, were very specific. And that is why they stated that it must be, the asset must be disproportionate to his income. So if Sammy had bought a private jet, or if Sammy had carried $1 million, then it raises questions for which reason there is a need to go and investigate to establish whether or not state funds. And Haruna's argument and the way you ask the questions, it appeared as though when you are a public official, one, let it be established that this exchange, this gift that Sammy gave was not in his office. It was not in a gold board, as it was not in the line of his duty as Chief Executive Officer of Gold Board.
So he was giving it as communications officer of the NDC?
He went, and so that is why the issues of impress and co doesn't even come in. Are you saying that as member of parliament for the people of Ketu North, when I attend a funeral and I decide to make a donation at a funeral, I am necessarily using the MP's common fund to do so? So I don't have my private life. I cannot use my private earnings.
Great point you're raising there. In fact, as an MP, do you feel that your constituents would have been happy if they found out that you were giving out cash, probably in US dollars, to someone else or a critic of your party outside your constituency? Would they have been happy at that?
So let it be established. You are talking about being happy or no, which is about it's a sensation, emotional feeling. Is that not it? Let it be established first and foremost that there was no illegality. No illegality, no code of conduct was breached, no law was breached, and all the laws that they quoted, they were only engaged in verbosity. They have not been able to prove that any law was breached. Issue of being happy. Look, even if Sammy had given that money to an NDC executive or an NDC foot soldier, somebody might say somewhere that maybe that person doesn't need it or he needed it more. So that is subjective to people's feelings. My constituents may not be happy that if I get money, I decide to give to, say, you or give to Haruna, but they will not assume that the money I am giving to you or giving to Haruna is public funds. And that is where the ridiculousness comes in. Why are we assuming that Sammy Gyamfi's gift all of a sudden is either from Impress or it is from Gold Board and all of that? Are we saying that all through before Sammy became Gold Board CEO, he had never given gift to anyone? Doesn't Sammy live in a house? $800. Could he have afforded? Is it more than maybe how much Sammy even spends on rent or on his vehicles?
Haruna says it may not be 800. Haruna is challenging the $800.
He counted more than 8.
He counted more than 8. That's what you think. The one who received the money, and those of us who are watching the video critically.
All right. So this is what we need to.
So please, if he counted more than 8, how much did he count?
You played the video. We can also count along with the way
machine.
He's counting the money.
I even heard you claim that it was counting machine. Please, Ghanaians are discerning. It is this attitude and posturing that gave you the embarrassing 38%. And today, you will not learn. I will advise you. Let me tell you something, my brother Haruna. In 2017, when the NDC went into opposition, the party decided to go into a reflective mood. They came out with Kwesibote committee report. They embraced changes, paradigm shift in how we're managing the party. Today, what you are doing, the journey of the NPP in opposition will really, really be long because all this you are doing, we all saw the video.
All right.
But you as deputy secretary, you sat on this station and said, Sammy, you...
He counted the money like a counting machine.
Yeah,
What is wrong with that?
Anyway, we need to go, gentlemen. I just give 30 seconds each to you. We need to go, Adam. Adam, just 30 seconds, please.
The money with his hand.
Adam.
You claim he used counting machine. Propagandist.
Adam, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. It's okay. It's okay.
He counted the money like a counting machine.
Similarities here.
You initially said counting machine. Stop that.
Your man knows how to count money.
You initially said counting machine.
Adam, 30 seconds, please. We need to go. Yes, wrap up for me.
Let me say that I am very happy for my brother Sammy Gyamfi. I'm happy because Sammy apologized not because he has breached any law, not because he had engaged in any illegality, but because of the respect he has for the good people of Ghana, that Ghanaians expect better from the NDC than any other party. The NPP has no moral authority to even talk about these issues.
All right.
We saw how even the appointees caught on video taking
We need to go. Yeah, we need to go.
Bribe,
right.
not gifts.
I see.
Were cleared.
Okay.
Ghanaians saw how the depraved MPP
and then we need to go.
handled issues of corruption.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
They cannot
Haruna,
be the standard when it comes to the fight against corruption.
Haruna, 30 seconds. We need to go. And Adam, perhaps you can pass on some dollars to Haruna. You would accept it, is it? you take some dollars.
I need only Ghana cedis.
Oh, Ghana cedis. I see. I'll convert it for you. I'll personally convert that for you.
I'm in Ghana, and I would like to deal in Ghanaian currency.
Okay, we need to go. 30 seconds. Yes.
I think I'm very surprised with these particular facts that is unveiling.
You expect swift action.
I want to correct this impression. The money in question has not been established. Okay. Whether it is $800 or it is $10,000, it has not been established. I would have wished you play the video.
But we can count. Unfortunately, we can count.
Yes, we can count it together with him. Yeah, and I can tell you that the count was more than that. Okay. And the word I use here is that he counted the money like a money machine.
Aruna, we need to go. You're expecting swift action.
That we expect action from these three organizations that the honorable member has filed this petition to, and we still believe on the grounds that these must be investigated and given us a solution.
Grateful for your time. Also, we need to go. Unfortunately,
and also we did not send the petition to anyone.
Okay.
So it is not in his right to determine whether
I should be taking on
or not. That is his own.
That's Haruna Mohammed, Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Also to you, Adam Agbana, grateful for your time. MP for Ketu North constituency in the Volta region. I am Blessed Sogah. That's all for UPFront. Until then, log on to myjoyonline.com. We'll have your way again. Bye-bye.